Hi everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing alright. So yeah, at the minute I'm just trialing a few different start times for the midweek stream just to see what works. Hi Minus. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it, that there's two PSO content creators live at the same time. So plan for today should surprise absolutely nobody. So yeah, we're just going to be grinding the PSO event again. As will be the case probably for the next couple of weeks. So for anyone who might not be aware, there is an event on Ephinea at the moment with increased drop rates, increased experience, and it's basically the best time to do anything. So if you're interested in coming back to PSO or trying it for the first time, now is probably the best time to do it. If you do want to join us for any reason, if you want to play with anyone in chat or join some of my games, we always play on Limerace, which is the EU ship, Block 2, Lobby 21. And the password to the games is always stream. And as usual, the music bugs. This is now a recurring feature of this game. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's going to be most of the month, I think. I think, from what I remember, I believe it ends... It's towards the beginning of September, maybe around the 8th or the 9th of September, around there. So this is becoming a bit of a regular thing, but I know last stream I pointed out an insane drop that Vector got with the CLJ sword. We need to talk about this, I'm sorry, this is ridiculous, but Mist here, for anyone who doesn't know, got two Psycho ones from two mid-lilies next to each other in the same run. How the hell that happened? That is, in 20 years of playing PSO, that is easily the most craziest thing I've ever seen in PSO. To get two mid-lilies on their own is hard enough. Like the rates for that are crazy. I've seen it once, like about a year ago. But to get two of them to then both drop Psycho ones. Now I realise it is increased drop rates at the minute, but it's still about 1 in 140 or so. I do feel like he got screwed on the banner. I feel like, you know, you got two Psycho ones, you should get two banners. I'm guessing it's because maybe the game logs it as, you know, this specific player has found this specific item from this specific enemy. And because maybe it happened one after the other, maybe it just logged it once. I don't know, but it's insane. I can't believe how rare that is. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I feel like everyone should get the banner. Like, I feel even if your banner is a little bit delayed, I feel like it should still play. Because it would suck if you got something really, really rare and didn't get a banner for it. But yeah, the chances of getting not only 2 mill lilies together, but then for them both to drop Psycho Wand, and one of them has hit as well. It's insane. So yeah, like, huge congratulations on that. That's crazy luck. I know you've had a rough time with the red ring as well, so it's about time you got something really good. Also, yeah, we do need to point out as well, Drac also did get Gazonde level 30 as well. So that was also a banner. So there is something in the water in PSO at the minute where we seem to all be getting banners. Yeah, also, yeah, it wasn't even 2 millilies. You actually got 3 in the run. Just 2 together. The saddest banner. I mean, it's a banner. I mean, to be fair, I got Heart of Samba Maracas, which I immediately gave away. You're not counting it as a good drop. I mean, it's rare. Take that. I asked him to let me hunt with him and he said it was going to be boring. I mean, it is boring doing resets for things like Psycho Wand and CLJ Sword, so I totally understand why you'd want to solo. It's why I was soloing for CLJ Sword yesterday, because asking people to do PW full resets with you is just not right. It takes 2 minutes. Hell yeah, it's PSO time. It is. For the next few weeks, it is PSO time. Still worth PDs. I mean, it is. It's just not something I was interested in personally. Max 1B is fine. It's not like a 1 room. Yeah, it depends what you do. I mean, normally for me, when I'm running max 1B, I tend to do, I think it's 3 rooms, which is about 33 lilies, and then a reset after that. Because then I find you get a few spawns before you get any more lilies. But I think where you got it was a little bit after. Yeah, I think the room that you got it in is, I think I stopped before then. I tend to do... There's, I think when I do it, I think there's the waterfall room, and the waterfall room has about 3 big spawns of lilies in it, and that's where I've had most of my mill lily show. But yeah, I couldn't believe that. When I saw the Discord this morning, I was so happy for you getting the Psycho ones, and then I went back and looked at it, and I was like, hang on a minute, there's 2 red boxes there. I just assumed you'd done was a badge drop or something. I looked, and thankfully you had your item reader on the screen so I could read it. And I was like, there's no way this dude just found 2 Psycho ones. Absolutely insane. I've never seen anything like that in PSO. Yeah, it does feel like everyone's unable to drop hacks at the minute. We could have had 8 Psycho ones if you invited 3 others. We could. I also really like how we've had a CLJ sword drop and 2 Psycho 1 drops, none of which have been on stream. It feels like that happened just before or just after the streams. Also, as well, congrats to Vector as well for unsealing the CLJ sword as well. Let's change that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's change that. Yeah, I see we've got our daily Twitch bot again. Cheers for that, Kilniath. Hi, Zil. Yeah, Vector has his little manga in the Discord of like the story of the unseal. Yeah, I forgot about that as well. Minus, yeah, you got a red ring as well, didn't you? And that was just off stream as well. So yeah, I think the plan for today is to rectify that and get some banners on stream, hopefully. Now, we did just recently get our next boost, which was another boost to drop anything rate, which doesn't really help for me for CLJ Sword because I think Gig used DAR's already maxed out. But it should help for pretty much any other enemy. So how many people have we got? We have 6. So we can do 2 parties of 3 then. So shall we start things out with, you know, since Psycho 1s seem to be the in thing at the minute, should we just like start with like a purple caves or something? Because it would be hilarious to get more Mid-Lily Psycho ones. And I also know Drac wants a Psycho one as well. Unless Mist has cleaned out the entire stock of Psycho ones now. Gonna be driving out to your partner's place shortly so you can't join until later. Oh, no worries, dude. It's fine. I hope you down tech that Psycho one. Oh, the one with hit. Mostly listening. Yeah, that's fine, dude. You'll probably be able to tell if something drops because I'll probably start getting hype. I must admit, if I got a Psycho one with 5% hit, I don't know if I would down tech it or up tech it. Because it would be hilarious down teching it, but it's also a Psycho wand. So what we can do is, do we want to start with maybe purple num curves? We can do 2 parties. I mean, I can go get my Raymal if you want another purple num. Oh, you can host purple. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that then. We'll do some purple cave runs. Well, at least one run anyway. Yeah, so we've already got 2 purples. That's fine. So Ark can host 1, and then Drac can host the other one. And after that, we'll maybe switch it up to either Heaven Punisher, Red Ring, or CLJ Sword. I do obviously want to get some CLJ Sword runs in. Yeah, we need 2 purple nums, Vector. Because we've got 6, so we need 2 parties. Assume we're both doing purple num caves anyway. I mean, you don't have to. Statistically, with the drops that have been happening, it'll definitely be a streamer curse if you don't get anything today. Maximum attack 1B for consistency. I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I can't really complain about the event. I mean, obviously I got the Heart of Samba Maracas on the first day, which I wasn't really wanting, but it was cool to see it drop. I haven't had anything else uber rare drop during the event, but I have had like, at least one decent drop every day. And a lot of levels. I mean, I'm 194 and I'm actually quite close to 195. Alright, yeah, so if we just split evenly between these. So it looks like I'm in this one. Or the game could crash immediately. It's been fine for like most of the week. So we will be right back. Here we go again. It must be something about when I party with you, Drac, because this seems to happen every time I party with you. Yeah, I don't get it. I will be right back. All right, we'll try this again. No idea what causes that. It just seems to happen really randomly. Again, I suppose this is a private server for a 20-year-old game, so can only expect so much. Yeah, but now the music's skipping again, so it's going well. It's normally fine once it gets going. It's just, yeah, just now and again it does that for some reason. Oh, hi, Minsk. Right, I'm going to attempt to join again. So now I'm in fine. Oh, hi, Mark vibes. We've already got a banner. Someone found purple num card, so I tell you now they're hunting Psycho Wand. Because the normal loop for hunting Psycho Wand on purple num has a lot of nano dragons in the quest, so. Exactly, yeah. Speaking of purple num caves. Now we do have an advantage in that we do have Vector in the team. And wherever Vector goes, rare stuff tends to drop, so. Well, I haven't said that, I mean, Mist's in the other party, so. I need to get 2 Psycho ones recently, so. I think when you blessed Mist, your luck went to him. Let's hope not. I mean, let's hope it does stay with him so he can get Red Ring, because he has been after it for way too long. Well, hopefully there is some left over for us as well. Quick disable individual drops while they're not looking. But yeah, someone on the Ephinea Discord did some maths on it and basically said that the chance of getting 2 Millilies to spawn next to each other and both drop Psycho Wand is about 1 in 1.3 billion. You know, bearing in mind that you are looking at 2 rare enemies spawning, plus the chance of them both dropping Psycho Wand and them being next to each other. Since you blessed Miss, Miss has to bless someone else. Is that how it works? Well, let's find out. They need to put a lottery on next. I think if I'd have found 2 Psycho Wands in one spawn, or a Psycho Wand at all, I would probably go and put the lottery on. Yeah, so this is the quest that I normally run for Psycho Wand. And hey, sorry I'm late. No, where is dude? Oh, we're starting strong with the Guilty Light. It's 5 hit. Amazing. 5 hit just like the Psycho Wand. Yeah, so this is when I do Psycho Wand runs, this is what I normally run for it. Because you can get about 30 odd lilies within a couple of minutes and then you just reset. Minus 5 hit Psycho Wand. I mean, there was a chance. Yeah, he'll protect it, unfortunately. It would have been really funny if it down teched it to -5. I don't actually know what that would do to the value because, I mean, obviously, because it's a tech weapon, hit's not valuable on it anyway because you're not going to melee with a rod. I do kind of wonder if a -5 would be worth more just for the novelty. But yeah, that look was insane, wasn't it, LGP? It was... I couldn't believe it when I saw it this morning. Morris did a double take because I looked at it and obviously saw that he'd found a cycle one. Thought, oh, that's really cool. And then looked at it again and was like, hang on a minute. There's 2 middle elite. There's 2 red boxes. There's 2 cycle ones. But yeah, as you can see, this is why I run this for cycle 1 because it is very, very quick for lilies. Normally I would reset there and then reload that again. Saw the photo last night and said congrats, but then I was like, hold the fluff up. Yeah, because I saw it and I saw people talking about how he got 2, and I thought you were referring to he got 2 mill lilies next to each other. It took me like a couple of minutes, and I went back in and looked at it. I was like, no, they actually mean he got 2 cycle ones. 15 hit Vice. Yeah, for anyone who might not be playing at the moment or maybe isn't as familiar, the rates for everything are insane at the minute. So at the moment we are on about, I think it's 185% experience now, and drop rate, I think it's on 145 rare drop rate. So yeah, if there is anything at all you're hunting or any characters you want in the level, this is when you do it. And there's a guilty light. I love that. So many rares were dropping there that the little rare sort of notification on the right hand side was just scrolling constantly. Hi, Pickerwood. We also got a smoking plate before the ones on another run. Wonder what everyone will do when they all hit max level and have all the drops. Yeah, so this was the spawn, I think, wasn't it, that you got it on? Or one of these spawns, anyway. Because I think you get a few spawns in this room. Don't like that Lily's behind boxes. This spawn, yeah. No such luck here. Dead. Got a red box though. Actually, that's kind of funny actually. Got 2 red boxes more or less in the same place, but from all lilies. That's actually kind of hilarious. This was like the tribute run to yours. You got PD by a regular lily. Yeah, I just got 2 badges. Yeah, they are like consolation prizes. I mean, the badges are at least useful. Yeah, honestly though, it's just really good to see people actually getting some of the really rare drops. As for what you said, Kilniath, about what will people do when we get all the drops, I genuinely don't know. Find them all again with hit. You stop on that room. Yeah, because I think from now it does kind of drop off a bit, doesn't it? There's no more lilies after that. Okay. So I'll leave it up to people in the party if you want to keep going or if you want to reset. It's up to you. SJS hunt. You're sick of caves being here all day. So it sounds like most people want out of caves. Did you think you got a purple num card? Or was it just that you wanted to kill that dragon in case it dropped one? It's your first time in caves in ages. That's spoken like someone who isn't hunting Psycho ones. Much more exciting than your normal caves run. You'll get back. Yeah, again, I know it really sucks that you got corrupted, but hopefully you get back there soon. You want to do an SJS run? I mean, I'm happy, obviously. So, for SJS, can we run MAE Tower? Because I know AA2 is really, really good, but there's not that many gig using it. I think there's only about 8 in the whole run, but I think there's 18 in Tower. And Tower's pretty quick anyway. I'm happy to do AA2 as well, but I think for SJS, Tower's probably a better option. Yeah, well, we can just lobby back then, because there's no more lilies in this run, so we can lobby back and then do a Skylight Tower. Twilight Tower. Oh, not after the last run. Offline runs are a proper slog. Addicting Food has been the highlight so far. Addicting Food's pretty good because it's essentially a multiplayer cave run, but with single player spawn strengths. I don't have time for Twilight. To be honest, I would only run Twilight now with an absolutely stacked party with loads of casts and everything. So yeah, I know you're joking, but after the experience I had last time, oof. Yeah, what I'll do is I will make a Skylight MAE Tower run. Anyone that wants to join it, feel free. Again, just try and sort of rotate around if you can. So if other people want to come in, that's fine. Just try and rotate things a bit. You can sit out. It's up to you, dude. Yeah, just since you got SJS. No, no worries though. Yeah, I know what it's like offline. A lot of the quests just don't really have that many enemies in, so it can feel like a bit of a slog to get through them. Leveling up feels quite slow as well. Particularly compared to this, because obviously the experience rates on this at the minute are ridiculous, so... I also like how at the beginning of the event I was thinking, oh, there's a small chance I might hit level 200 by the end. I'm 194 already. And we're like, what, a week and a half in? Well, I may be stuck offline, and we do have East and West Tower on your slot being memory card, so you can kind of join the fun in spirit. Tower's really fun. East and West Tower aren't too bad. They are the easiest of the Tower quests, probably, just because I guess they were one of the first quests that had Tower. But if you're offline, they will still be the best way of hunting most of the central control mini bosses. Go on then, I'll do a Corrin gamble, why not? We'll go big money. He'll give me something terrible because he always does, but... One a mate, nice one. Told you. Hi, McClintry. I saw on the Discord that you'd hit level 80 as well, so congrats on that. Do I have any escape dolls with me? No, I don't. Let's get some. Caved and did some power leveling from 72 to 80 in 4 hours. Ran a few TTF before switching to maximum attack forest. So many drops in that quest. Literally everyone is spamming forest. I think it's mainly for Heaven Punisher and for Handgun Miller, but yeah, it's ridiculous how many points forest has now. $1.71 mil to next level. I'm down to 217k actually. Also, apologies if you can hear anything. The world's loudest plane is apparently flying over. I am catching up, but the thing is, I've been grinding this quite a bit. You, on the other hand, have been doing things that are useful. We would have done caves and mines, but forest is always fast to clear. I think the problem is, I think some people, maybe some people still think it works like previous years, where you can just spam one quest, but you can't now. You have to run whatever the lowest points one is to increase the totals. But yeah, a lot of it though, I think, is just because people are spamming it for Hilda Tors for Heaven Punisher and for Handgun Miller from Tolars. Played a bit of Ultimate before getting off because it was around 2 AM in the morning. We were able to full clear Forest 1 without much issue. Took a bit of time. I think when you first get there, it is just more time consuming than anything else. I mean, obviously, particularly in episode 1, you've got the luxury of you can just run out the rooms if you need to. Yeah, the experience there should be crazy though at the minute, with 185% experience. Do people ever make an S-rank Blizzard Needle? I haven't really heard of many people doing it. I genuinely don't know how good it would be. $504 experience per boomer equivalent. Forget the name. Oh, battles. Yeah, I mean, 500 experience for one of those is ridiculous. I mean, you probably see the experience we're getting from these. So that Gibbles there gave me 1,119, and I don't think I killed it. Oh, I forgot about the ones behind me. Swear my Huni roll is absolutely blind. They broke through your 89 EDK. I think it's time to go Holy Rare because I need the range on these. Unless they use Snow Queen. I mean, Snow Queen will probably work reasonably well. Obviously, that relies on things being very closely clustered together because the splash damage range on it isn't great, honestly. They outrange everything. They do. I mean, they even outrange rifles, but at least it gives me a bit more wiggle room. So what's wrong with the Blizzard Needle? I'm honestly not too sure. I mean, you just don't see people use it that often. I think obviously the single target frozen shoot was always going to be the option just because it's guaranteed freeze. And so Snow Queen if you can land it reliably. But I'm genuinely not sure how well a Blizzard Bomb would work. I mean, I would assume it would be better on casts because I think they get a bonus to freeze confused paralysis. But I still don't know how well it would work. I might try that in sandbox mode at some point. Might as well get a spread needle. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that is an option. I mean, I guess if you're trying to immobilize a group, spread needle does that pretty well. I suppose the only advantage would be if you come across something that is immune to paralysis. Did you see the banner yesterday where someone got a Monkey King bow 60 hit? No, I missed that one. So, did it say 60 hit in the banner? Because if it says 60 hit in the banner, that means it's 70 hit because it'll take up 10%. Which is insane. I know that apparently someone earlier got a 70 hit chainsword. With 60 in the banner. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, realistically, I mean, Monkey King Bar, when you've upgraded it, is the strongest double saber in the game. So getting one with effectively 70 hit, that's just going to be ridiculous. You took a screenshot of it because you were shell-shocked. I'm going to assume that's probably how Mist felt when the two Psycho ones dropped. I've only really experienced like a insane uber rare once. I mean, I know obviously I've got Red Ring on this and I feel obviously Red Ring is very rare. But I feel like, to me, it didn't feel as special as getting like a super rare drop from a normal mob. Like a really high drop rate. Just because you're not expecting it. Still obviously really, really happy with it, but I think when you get a random mob that drops something that's like 1 in 30k, you're like, what? Like the Nug, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I mean, Nug is what, about 1 in 28k? Yeah, I said the only time I've experienced that is on Sega servers where I found Yasha. And I think when that dropped, I literally lost the ability to speak for a bit. Wonder if we get a Graviton plate this run. Oh, fingers crossed. The drop that makes you forget English. Yeah, exactly. Oh. Oh, Mint's got a badge and Mist found a photon drop from a Gigi. Oh, that sucks. Again, that is the one downside of getting all these event badges. Occasionally they drop from enemies you want them to drop from. Occasionally they drop from enemies you really don't want them to drop from. Purple Numbers Sense plate. I'm genuinely struggling to think what Sense plate actually does. Does it give you trap vision or something? I might be wrong on that. I genuinely can't remember. It's been so long since I've seen that armor. Oh, someone just got a Ricker's Claw there. Very nice. Vector got a Lily, no Psycho ones. Ah, I'm convinced Mister's probably taking them all now. Sense plate gives trap vision. Yeah, on a rare cast like that sink in. Extremely useful one. Lucky not hunting anything especially yet because I got badges like crazy from max attack, but I can feel the pain of hearing the rare sound from a Gigi and it being a bronze badge. I have had that a few times during the event, and I also got a photon drop yesterday. Which over the course of the many years I've hunted CLJ sword is probably about the 15th or 16th photon drop, I think. You just become numb to it after a while. I really do not like Ilgils when they spam this charge. They're super irritating. But hey, you have a 40 hit Galatine. You do have a 40 hit Galatine. I'm going to assume that was accidental. You got annihilated by the sickle guys. That is the general experience of fighting Ilgils. Yeah, they are really not fun because they have invulnerability when they charge. They have incredibly high defense, so you barely do any damage to them unless you Zalio them. They have incredibly high evade, so you miss them all the time, and they instant kill you. Someone first found a 3073 Flower Sword. That's the really rare purple number one, I think. Again, probably not the uber rare you want to find, but you wish Freeze was as strong as it is for the enemies. As far as I know, if you get frozen, every hit will land right. Yeah, pretty much. Really stupid question, Milk Country, but you do know the quick way of getting out of freeze, don't you? Yeah, wiggle, yeah. I just want to make sure, because it's again something the game doesn't tell you. Super fast on keyboard from A and D spam. You don't wiggle, you don't want to ruin your controller. You just let it happen. I really wish these geekies would stop doing Jelen and Zala because it's super annoying in multiplayer. Because it's exactly the same level as my Shifter and D-Band. So I have to keep on recasting. Doesn't help on this that there's two epsilons overlapping each other. You have the game through Steam, and with Steam control support, you have your back button to AD, and it works a charm. Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it, honestly. Well, you'd be surprised to know that there was no SJS art drop. Sometimes you just have your left hand over A and D near freeze heavy enemies. Just preempting the freeze. Yeah, I think I mentioned this at the start of the stream, but just for anyone who might not be aware, we are multi-streaming at the moment onto YouTube and Twitch, so just feel free to watch wherever you want to watch. You can also make parties named Dear real fast. Yep, nothing of use again in the shop. I'm still yet to see anything good in the arm shop. And check it after every quest. Back buttons are 3 and 4, so you don't have to use the keyboard. Yeah, there's a few ways of doing it, isn't there? I'm too used to the GameCube method of just wiggle inside and wiggle the controller. And as LJP just posted there, we do have a Discord for anyone watching, so if you want to join us over there, we do, we talk about PSO, the other Fantasy Star games. We also play stuff like Monster Hunter as well. So feel free to join us over there if you're interested. It is very Fantasy Star heavy at the minute. Once this PSO event's over, we'll probably switch it up a bit more. Who would watch on Twitch? At the moment, more than I watch on YouTube. I like to give options. Who would watch on YouTube? Exactly. Craziest thing I've seen in a shop was during Christmas break, GameCube, where there was some weapon with 40 hit just chilling in there. Yeah, so once you get to a certain level, the quality of the stuff in the shop goes up. I think you get the best stuff around 150 plus. because you can get things like 50 hit charge Vulcans from the shop. They just don't show up very often at all. On GameCube, you can cheese it because you can just do the telepipe trick. You may be able to do it on Blue Burst because the shops might reset on Blue Burst, but I just don't feel like doing it. The delay to go between the apps ruins your joke. That's the advantage of Twitch, you've got all the crazy emotes. Yeah, the telepipe trick is a classic one, yeah. It's how people used to get rare enemies on GameCube as well. And destroy the GameCubes in the process. Guilty of that. Shops do reset every pipe, okay. It's just incredibly boring doing it over and over again to get one item you want in the shop. I suppose once you've got it, you can just buy it, but... Alright, so we've got 6 at the minute, so we've done Cycle 1 hunt, we've done a CLJ hunt. So I mean, the next logical one will be Heaven Punisher or Red Ring. Unless anyone else has anything in particular that they want them to go for. Sky took your Red Ring, you took Sky's SJS, and Mist took your Psycho Wand. It's like the circle of PSO. Everyone just steals each other's drops. You do the pipe trick for Al Rappies, which could be risky in a way. It just puts quite a lot of stress on the laser as far as I know, because it just loads, obviously loading constantly. But that's the reason it works as well, because the game reloads the enemies every time you spawn back down. So unfortunately they fixed that on Blue Burst. Yeah, there is no loading screens, that's one good thing. Yeah, I'm happy to do a run for, if you want to do a run for Heaven Punisher or Red Ring. As much as I want CLJ Sword, I don't want the whole stream to be trying to find me a CLJ Sword. I was happy running either. Epic victory music to spare you on your backlog of techs. Tekken's awful now. I really don't like the Tekken now. It takes forever to do it. There is 6 of us, yeah, so we can do 2 3-player parties. If Heaven Punisher is so good, where's Hell Punisher? You'll host a TTF. You found one Al Rappy so far. On normal, I cried a little. It's always the case, they'll show up when you don't want them. It's always the purple techer that sucks at his job. He makes me mauled like crazy. I literally now have a pile of like unteched weapons in my stash that are ones I've tried teching on stream and haven't been able to get the right tech on, and I've just left them there. Hi, Tech. We weren't talking about you, we were talking about the techer. Yeah, so let's see, so who's doing what? So we've got a TTF. Go on then, I'll join for the TTF then, because it would be hilarious to try and get Mist a Red Ring after getting 2 Psycho ones. Gonna be listening on the drive, good luck. Ah, cheers, Minus. I'll do a whole stream of just Tekken. It's like 4 Pazuzus, 2 or 3 Dolphin Eclairs, and 4 or 5 Del Rappies, but it was on Beyond the Horizon on normal. Oof. 4 Red Rings, let's go. I mean, obviously I've got one on this character. I wouldn't turn down another one. I will say though that if a red ring drops for me in this party while Mist is here, I will give it to Mist, but just because of how long he's hunted for. I've always wondered for shield drops on the item reader, what are the two numbers related to? So the first one, so on the item reader, so you mean, so for example, at the minute on mine, there's like a protect frame which says 0 out of 4, 1 out of 2. Do you mean those numbers? $25 hit. Those on barriers. So the first one is, I'm not sure if you're aware, but for most, that's just adjusty, don't get excited. For most armors and barriers and shields, they have variable defense and evade. So if you've got, for example, an item that has 50 out of 60 and 13 out of 20, that means that it's got 50 out of 60 of its possible variation in defense, so it's like 10 defense off maximum, and then it's got 13 out of whatever evade. So it means that there is a variance on the armors and shields. So that's why if you look on the Ephinea wiki, quite often it'll have different values on the price guide for things with like low defense, high defense, and that's what it means. So as an example, so my red ring, for example, has, I think it's 75 out of 85 defense, and then about 6 out of 25 evade. So it's quite a low evade one, but quite a high defense one. Obviously, if it was max defense, it'd be worth a lot more. What's the password for Blue Seabed? So normally tech, any games that are run on the stream, the password is normally stream. So I would try that if it's passworded. This just got stuck under the dragon for the fight. Yeah, we always use that password. It's just so people who are watching the streams have more chance of getting in. And as I said, you know, we will try and rotate people as well, just so everyone gets a chance to be on the stream. I swear if we get a middle in out. Is ultimate canon to the story because where on earth is the arena? There isn't really any explanation for ultimate. Nothing particularly makes sense, it's like this. But yeah, there is no real explanation for why the Silver Dragon is in the middle of Antarctica. Your hunter will have twins, Fowler and Gullet. I respect it. That was like, extremely cheap. Guy just thought, no, you're not just standing outside the room. Yeah, it hit me like, I was like here. I know they can fire out the room slightly, but I didn't think they could fire that far out. Noted. Just as well, it's not like the Sega servers where you lose experience when you die. Projectiles are evil when it comes to escaping into other rooms. I know that the Garanzas and Baronzas are absolutely renowned for doing that. If they fire missiles right at the edge of the room, they will pretty much go in the corridors. I have no idea what Green Hill Slimes drop, so I don't know if the word's splitting or just killing. Crap, fair enough. Maybe it's like Final Fantasy XIV, where the literal in-game reason why there's harder versions of fight is someone's telling fan fiction to make it sound more interesting. Lose experience, brilliant idea. Yeah, it was only on the Sega Bluebird servers, LGP. They decided that the way to punish you in that version of the game was to make you lose experience. You could never level down, but you would just lose experience. Was it a crazy amount of experience lost? It depended on how much experience you needed to level. So I remember on the Sega servers I died in the 190s and I lost about, I want to say about 200,000, maybe 250,000 experience. Somewhere around there. I know that probably sounds like a lot of experience if you just got to ultimate, but when you get into the 190s, you need millions to level anywhere, so losing 200k is not the end of the world. It's a bit annoying, but not the end of the world. I would much rather that than how it was done on Dreamcast. But back in the day when you drop your equipped weapon, man, rough times, been nulled a few times too. Dreamcast games were brutal. That's what I mean about the Dreamcast. Oh, Mint's got a holy writ, cool. Yeah, nulling was awful as well. I didn't really play Dreamcast when it was released. I more or less started with GameCube. But even on GameCube, yeah, people FSODing in the lobbies and corrupt, you know, people got memory cards corrupted and all sorts. Yeah, nothing like doing Twilight Sanctuary while trying to level. Can you even imagine trying to level up running that? Lost many characters to FSOD on GameCube. Yeah, I never lost a character to FSOD. I lost a lot of equipment to FSOD. And I lost a character to getting disconnected while warping to the Silver Dragon in a TTF run online, but yeah. Once a stream shout, I would top them as Prime. Yeah, the Sinnoh room has been kind of nerfed for green now, unfortunately. Used to drop V101, but they changed the drop recently. Yeah, it's Kasami Bracer now instead. Which again is still a really nice drop. It's just not V101. Haven't had any run-ins with GameCube issues yet. Yeah, I mean, for the record, I mean, I have probably a little bit over 1,000 hours or so on GameCube in total. And I lost, I think in all that time, I lost 3 characters, memory card corruptions, but all of them were on third-party memory cards. And as soon as I started using a proper Nintendo memory card, it worked fine. Obviously, I can't speak for everyone, but that was my experience. However, I lost a ton of stuff to FSOD online. Just lost your 67 rate amount of data corruption on GameCube, so you've had to start again offline. Yeah, hopefully get back to where you were. I know it really, really sucks though. Well, apparently I've hit 195. Oh god, we're now at 3 million to level. I also got a Yasmin called 3000 hour as well, which has 5% machine. No hit. solo grind a lot in Ephinea, but that's because you do normal mode and not one person. So if you're doing solo in the clinch rate on Ephinea, is there any reason that you run normal mode and not one person? I know normal's a little bit less experience, but it's also the enemies are quite a bit weaker as well, so you probably kill them a lot faster. So it may end up being better, maybe. I don't know if I'm hunting anything, I do it in one person if I'm doing solo. You like a little bit of extra enemies. Oh, fair enough. Oh, that glitch is so dumb. It makes Huniwell amazing enveloped. One in 1050 for the Yaz. Yeah, I mean, it's not like a terribly rare item, but it's something interesting at least. Just has terrible percents, unfortunately. You bought the plausible Rick Seal figures a while back, relived the nostalgia for a few minutes, but you don't think you ever recovered from losing your legit level 200 years back. Haven't played again since. Was that on GameCube, Microsoft? Or was that on Dreamcast version 2? Normal mode is a bad idea in Ultimate, better off going Anguish. Yeah, I suppose Anguish in Ultimate you get the harder enemies, but yeah, I suppose with doing Anguish you will get the increased rare drops as well. Volop Phase 2 always gets wiped out faster than the Dragon. Volop Phase 2 is an absolute joke. Yeah, sorry to hear about your level 200, Microsoft. That really, really sucks. I kind of lost to level 200, so once the Sega servers for Blue Boys closed, obviously there's loads of private servers. There was one that I was able to transfer my character over. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to transfer Sega characters over to a private server. So I did that, which was I had level 200 Huniwell. It was this character actually. And then, as pretty much everyone knows, there was a combination of a few things that went wrong with that server. There was massive data loss, but I lost mine a bit before then, so I lost my character when they basically deleted your characters if you didn't log in for a certain amount of time, and I didn't realise. I just forgot to log in and lost to level 200. But now she's back to 195 and with probably better gear than she had before, so swings and roundabouts. That part not as awesome, sorry. No worries. That was quite a few years ago now, so yeah, no one get excited. That is not a Psycho Wand or a Handgun Gold. It is a badge. How do you cycle weapons so fast? So on controller, the way I do it is if you're using kind of Xbox controls, for me it's right bumper and then Y. So if you do right bumper and then press Y, it brings up like a quick menu on the left here. And this lets you switch through all your weapons. You can also cycle it through as well by continuing to press R. So you can cycle to your items or your techniques. So for example, if I want to run in here and quickly buff, I can do that. Yeah, again, one of many things that PSO just does not tell you how to do. I believe that was added in... It may have been the GameCube version, if not maybe version 2 Dreamcast, but yeah, it's really useful to have. Is that something they do here or a different server? That was on a different server. As far as I'm aware, they don't delete characters here unless you've done something to warrant getting your account banned. Yeah, it's on GameCube too. Hold R and press Y. I thought it was. How would you add the stuff 1 to 0 on a controller? So for that, you do it through the customize menu. So yeah, so for those number keys, I do use my numbers on my keyboard to hit them. So I'll try and show you how to do that once I've done this, because if I try showing you that at the minute, I'll get killed. But it's really easy to do though. I can show you that straight away after I've done this. Again, it should be obvious as well, but the number bar at the bottom is a blue burst only thing. I like on files that when if you kill so many of these glowing things, sometimes you have to just wait for more to spawn because you just run out of them. Yeah, once we beat files, I'll show you how to do the customization. Please remind me on in chat if I forget. I was in a really awkward position there. I couldn't really hit him very easily. Just bust out the GameCube keyboard and find a USB converter so you don't have to take the hands off the controller. I love all the stupid strats in PSO that you just learn after playing it for so long. It's been kind of annoying at the minute, actually. It's been rather annoying, I should say. You wish you still had one of those. It was an experienced COs. Yeah, I never had one of the really cursed ones, unfortunately. To be honest, they were almost a necessity to have though the keyboards on GameCube Online, because trying to type with the software keyboard was horrendous. Oh, that was quick. That's what happens when you have a few 190s and a 200. So, any luck? There's not a PSO. No. Yeah, so the way that you do it to set the keyboard is if you go to your main menu and go to customize, what you do is if you want the bar that's along the bottom here, you do it on the first menu. But also if you hold right bumper, there is actually a second menu. You might see that my my Rabata icon's changed into a Gizonder. So there is actually a second bar on your alternate part as well. So the way you do it is you go to customize, press on anywhere, it doesn't really matter. And then what you do is you select what icon you want to set to your palette. And let's just say I want to set Rester to number 1. All you do is you highlight it and then press number 1 on your keyboard. And you can see it puts a number 1 next to it. If I go back now, you can see that my palette has now changed to having Rester. If I press number 1, it's a Rester. So again, just go to Customize, press anywhere, select what tech you want. So again, I want Shifter on 1, press number 1 on it. Obviously, if I wanted it on slot 5, I'd press number 5. If I wanted it on 9, I'd press 9. And then go back and it's set. If you want to set the secondary bar, all you do for that one is just make sure that you press right bumper here to go to your reverse palette, and then do exactly the same. And that'll set on your reverse palette. Oh, no worries, dude. 1, 2, 3, and 4 being STJZ and 0 being Ryuka is the way. That's how I've always played it on Blue Burst, on this character at least anyway. On Force, I've got so many techs, most of my palette is just attack techs. I would say though, if we're talking palettes, don't copy my palette for the main palette, because this is cursed. I've said this before, but really, your front palette should pretty much, on a hunter at least, should pretty much always be attack, heavy attack, and special attack. If I have S and D on 1 and 2, how come I still use the quick menu? It's a habit from GameCube, yeah. So on GameCube, I always had Shift and D band near the top of the quick menu. It's also because sometimes for me, I find it faster to go through the quick menu. But yeah, it's just more or less habit, honestly. I probably could set them to something else, but it's just because I played GameCube so long as well. I'm just so used to doing it. That's the same reason I've got the cursed action palette as well with Rester on the front, because that's how I always played it on GameCube. And it's just a hard habit to break. Other characters, it's easier. So like on Androids, for example, it's really easy to have all your attacks on the front palette. When you log in again, Skyly will surpass my level. Yeah, I just leveled up again, so 195 now. Anything good in the shop? At all? No. So I will team point the Justy. I mean, the Yaz is pretty terrible percent, honestly. Back to work, I go later. Oh, no worries, Minsk. See you later, dude. I've always liked the look of this gun. Looks really cool. Of course, now the next hour of the stream is me trying to tech this. Oh, there we go. We've got a -5. He really does want to give us the -5. I might say this honestly because I know the purple num techer is pretty terrible. Actually, no, it wasn't purple num, was it? In fact, he might have switched now. Because I know that IDs change as people enter and leave the games. But this purple num techer model is still... This is still the model for... With the green nil techer, actually, I think. I think that was a green nil game. So I think green nil would be good rifles. And as I say that, he techs it right. Can't make it up. If it's negative on an enemy type, does it heal them? It doesn't heal them, it just does less damage. So less damage than a 0% weapon. And yes, if you tech something with -hit, you'll have less accuracy than normal with it. Set your force with tech attacks on 1 to 0 and the buffs on control, which is the opposite as all the others, so you keep hitting the wrong button combos. That is the issue when you've got multiple characters trying to remember what all your buttons are set to. Last dumb question. No question is dumb in regards to PSO. It's a 20-year-old game that tells you nothing, so... My bank's starting to get full with items I can't sell. What should I do? So, if you're playing Blue Burst, which you must be because you mentioned about the bar at the bottom, what some people do on Ephinea is make a character specifically for storing items. So you might know that on Ephinea you have a shared bank. If you don't, if you type /bank, you'll switch between your character stash and a sort of shared stash between all your characters. So what some people will do is throw things in the shared stash, and then they'll make a character specifically for storing stuff. And then they'll pull that stuff out of the shared stash into that character stash. So that's one option you've got. Other option obviously is if you've got anything that's worth anything, trade it. But yeah, a lot of people will make extra characters. Also bear in mind that if you are playing on Ephinea, you do have 32 character slots. If you don't know that, when you launch the launcher for the game, at the top of the launcher there is a box that says something like slot 1 to 4. If you click on that, you can change it to, for example, slot 5 to 8, and that'll give you, when you log in, that'll give you 4 new character slots. And you can just change it back to 1 to 4 to go back to your old characters. So yeah, so although you can only see 4 characters at once, you can switch between different character banks. So you have like multiple banks of 4 characters. So yeah, that's how most people get around it, because it does become a problem later on. Ephinea does pretty much have everything. Yeah, it's essentially as close as possible to Sega servers with a couple of quality of life improvements. Bonsai Trees is very knowledgeable with. It is. Yeah, LJP is basically the resident drop chat keepers up. Anyone wants to look any drops up, he's the guy to ask. I really need to do a video on word select at some point because it's such a crazy thing for a 20-year-old game. I keep saying this, but I need to get around to doing that. It should give you inventory 60 inventory spaces. I wouldn't be against that. That Falls is hiding. Hiding a red ring anyway. So now we've done that. I mean, the logical next one is Heaven Punisher. Yeah, McCountry, I mean, if you think, you know, this is like a, well, Dreamcast version is almost 25 years old. And it does, yeah, it auto-translates. So anything that you use word select, it will automatically translate it into the language of the other person, assuming that language is in PSO. Which again, 25-year-old game. So yeah, how many we got anyway? Seven. So we can do a 4 and a 3. Did they call the ships Pioneer because they knew they'd be pioneers for online gaming? In 10 more minutes. Ah, no worries. I mean, we could always do a 3 and a 3. In the meantime, while you're waiting. Pioneer 2 shouldn't be named Pioneer 2, but Successor. Yeah, so most of the time, man, it's when people are typing stuff like Dark Falls is hiding. It's usually through word select. So you can do really stupid things with it. So there's a bit at the bottom where you can do create a question or create a conversation. So you can do things like, let's see. Palrappy is cute. So you can do stuff like that. You can't be Pioneer twice. Yeah, I mean, they should have thought about that, shouldn't they, when they were naming Pioneer 2? Dark Falls is cute. I mean, if you think so. Favorite was always the stick a fork in me, I'm done. The other crazy thing about word select as well is it responds to other word selects. So if someone does a word select, quite often you'll get like recommended answers that pop up as well. So again, it's like revolutionary for the time, really. So is it just Mr. to wait the minute? If Pioneer is so good, where's Pioneer 3? Was PSO the first AI? I mean, PSO technically has several AI in it. People have played, no. Yeah, we can do either blue full or purple. I mean, obviously the downside of blue full is forest. Cease forest. Yeah, and if anyone is just starting in the event, please go and look at the scores for the quests. And just think about whether you really want to run forest. Anyone going to do an Oran run? We barely have any Orans. Oran is like the rare section ID. I do have an Oran Hukasil, but yeah, I need to level her a bit more really at some point. You can just bring a level 80 to a forest run and leech. It's kind of TTF good but gated to ultimate. I mean, yeah, I get why people are spamming forest. But I just wish they'd run some other stuff as well. On GameCube, all of your shortcuts were consumables, pipes, and rare enemies. Yeah, I mean, we could do some purple num CCA. Did you still want to address pit? Are you going to do a forest? Okay. I know I just said don't do it, but the downside is a good way of hunting Heaven Punisher. You do want to dress plate. I mean, I'm happy to do purple num CCA if you want. You become the very thing you swore to destroy. Fought against it though, we're doing CCA instead. Want to sit in game, but yeah, carp out right now. Thanks for having a welcoming community. Everyone has been nice and chill to hang out with. And I don't feel like it's any reflection on me. I just think it's down to everyone that's been watching. Everyone has just been super chill so far. Which, thank you. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. The villain being the forest enjoyer. I think honestly, Minus, I think a lot of it is because, I guess because PSO is such an old game, a lot of the people who watch are probably, some of them are probably just PSO veterans who played it years ago and probably just don't have time for being too salty. We had all of our salt back in the day. Just say old. I mean, I wasn't gonna, but yeah, old. That's me too as well, though. My experience with older multiplayer games like PSO is a way chiller community on average. I think so, because I think a lot of people who are playing it now are playing it because of nostalgia. So don't really have time for drama. That's not to say there isn't any, you know, there is still some drama on the Ephinea Discord sometimes, but it's largely mostly okay. Oh, let me in this time, cool. Sarax, your name is brilliant. A legit spattering drink. It's brilliant. I don't really mind what we do, honestly. When you say bigger quest, as long as it's not Twilight. I mean, I'm happy to do a bigger quest if you want to. Just whatever you think is good for hunting miracles, I guess. Or is it Sinnohs that drop dress plate that you're after? Recently came back, never pushed too far in the game. Couldn't find a stream for the game while you're playing it. Just got caught up with a lot of videos too, they're great. Ah, cheers, dude. Jack just wants to get an Uber rail ready. Oh, it's Sinnoh barrels that drop it, okay. Big Chungus is almost ready to play with you guys 1-2-1. I mean, at 1-2-1, you're ready, honestly. Yeah, we've played with people who are a lot lower level than 1-2-1, believe me. Just love seeing your favourite games still being played. 35 with 3 kids, all under 3, so you can't play it like you'd like to, so watching it work helps a lot. FF14 is a thing where if you're a new player, it makes you have a little sprout icon, so you have a clear acknowledgement that you're a new player, and people will protect those players. Yeah, I think I played FF14 again very, very recently. I am right at the beginning of ARR, so I came back very briefly. I haven't really played it again since because I just don't have time, but I did notice that I had a little icon next to my name. Any tips for spread needle hunting? Been doing the event quest for ruins, but it's a bit hard as a solo 114. So, a few options. So, if you're not bothered about percentages on it, there is a quest called Black Pepper's Deal, or Black Pepper's Dangerous Deal. You can get a spread needle through that. It's essentially a quest where you fight a few waves of episode 4 enemies. You might be able to do it in very hard. You'd have to check the wiki, and there's like a chance of getting rewards from it. And I know you can get spread needle through that. If you want to hunt it normally though, because the downside of Black Pepper's Deal is that it will have no percents. If you want one that's potentially got percents, options are, if you find the ruins quest a bit hard, you could either just trade for it, because generally spread needle is pretty cheap, unless it has hit. Other option, honestly, is just go to one of the crowded ships like Fodra, and just try and join some games, or just make a game. Just say what the game is. So just say, for example, whatever your section ID is, ruins, and generally people will join it. New Genesis has the same sprout icon for returning players too. Yeah, it does, yeah. Probably shouldn't say this, but I'm surprised I don't have one because I haven't logged onto it for a little bit. This event has just pulled me away from NGS entirely. I will go back and play it again though. Ah yes, this spawn. You haven't played NGS since before the volcano region came out. Yeah, so you've missed quite a bit, but at the same time, honestly, with the way that NGS is, you can just get to max level almost instantly anywhere. This event has just pulled me away from everything entirely. More or less everything apart from work, but even with that, I booked a few days off in the beginning of September. The last few days of the event, I booked off just to play this. I'm not saying I'm addicted, but, you know. I love how pathetic these bots are on Twitch. They literally come in, try and drop a link, get the link blocked anywhere, and then don't do anything else. Big chungus can take over here when you're off. I need help. I mean, you're not wrong. What's that? Work is temporary, PSO is life. Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure if I ring it and work tomorrow and say, I'm sorry, I'm taking the day off because I'm hunting the SJS side, I'm sure they'll be fine. Love the feeling of the combat in NGS, but you burn out after like 2 or 3 hours. The way I generally play NGS outside of this event is I basically log on, do my dailies, which takes a couple of minutes, and then I'll generally maybe do the limited quests or do the seal for half an hour to an hour maybe. And usually after about an hour, I'm pretty much done, and then I'll just log on again the next day. I feel like it's the kind of game where you don't have to put a lot of time into it if you don't want to. You can just play it very, very casually. Report the bot. Interestingly, Twitch is quick at sending you an email saying they've actioned the report when you do it. Oh, but cheers for reporting anyway. I mean, they don't get anything anyway because, like I said, the link they try putting in gets blocked anyway. And the really funny thing is it actually contributes to the analytics for the stream anyway because it counts as an extra viewer or extra chatter. Hey, Chenton. Yeah, I'm 195 already. I was 188 when I started this event. The experience is just stupid at the minute. Bring on all the bots then, you'll hit a Twitch front page in no time. Having seen what some bot raids are like on some of the bigger channels, I'd rather not. Yeah, I've seen some bigger channels where literally I've had some of them where they've decided to go into like emote only mode because the chat just gets absolutely spammed. Cheap photon drops on. Yeah, no country's walking a fine line. Now, you know, if it was cheap SJS, then, you know, I'd be clicking on that link. You risked it for the funny, and it was worth it. It was so close. I don't even really know the drops here. I'm really not familiar with Ep2 Purple at all, apart from another Heaven Punisher drop and the Dress Plate drop, but that's about it. Been working on getting floating crystals through Gold Anniversary badges to try and get Yasha from Black Paper's deal. You got 3 1975 Agatos so far. Yeah, just keep that. Are you doing very hard? Because if I remember correctly, I think Yasha is from very hard off en route, I think. Just ignore that banner at the top of the screen. 25 hit CLJ sword. I kind of feel sorry for them though, to an extent. Because as cool as that is, do you unseal it? Because you now have an unreduced hell sword with hit. Do you unseal it? For me, I think I probably would anyway, just because it's a CLJ sword. I kind of feel like it needs to be unsealed, but I would almost rather get one without hit, as stupid as that sounds. You love TGS. TGS is really, really cool. Yeah, it's just a really weird thing with CLJ where it's the only sword in the game with an unreduced hell that can have hit. So because I think the only other sword with unreduced hell would be an S-rank sword, which can't have hit. So it's quite an interesting sort of conundrum if you do get an SJS with hit. I think, like I say, for me, I would probably unseal it. Or if it was really, really high hit, I would be tempted to trade it for a CLJ sword with lower stats and other stuff. Maybe. Not that it matters because I'm not getting an SJS anyway. This is like blue sky thinking now. You've always liked the purple seal on the sword. It looks cool. It's a really cool looking weapon. SJS with hit is kind of useless when you have rangers. I mean, rangers are basically like a ranged SJS. You'll get an SJS drop with 60 hit. Hell Slice is still good on Hunter. It is, it just sucks that you have to use the SNS glitch with it. And particularly with how bad the slicer animation is for CUNY. The first hit seems so slow. Yeah, I mean, for the TGS, the whole deal with it is just how strong it is. You found a King's Disco yesterday with 70 hit. Replace your Disco Braveman until you get 13. I mean, you'd probably do more damage with the Disco Braveman, but obviously having the 70 hit is going to be a big help for accuracy. King's obviously is not a particularly great special. It's experience steal. I would just say, yeah, you can always go with that until you get a Disco Braveman that has some hit on it. Blue Sky thinking phrase is one of my pet peeve sayings. Cannot stand it. That and what can we do going forward? Yeah, also the other one I always hate is lessons learned. Yeah, it's just corpo speak, isn't it? What is the highest hit you can find? So The highest hit you could find would be on an unteched weapon. So something with a special or a special weapon, it will be 90 hit unteched. That could take up to 100. If you got a weapon without a special, it could technically drop as 100 hit. I think, because obviously you can't tech it. It may be limited to 90, but I think you may be able to get 100. Realistically, the chances of that happening are so infinitesimally small. For context, I've played pretty much on and off for 20 years, and the highest percent I've ever seen is 75. And that wasn't on hit. It's pet peeve when a company is leading. Like, every single company is a leading pioneer in the industry, and the other company doing the same thing is also leading. 195 getting there, almost 130 on Classic yourself. Oh, cool, Gems. Respect for playing Classic as well. Don't worry, the server is serving a 90 hit SJS just for you when it drops in about 20 years' time. You got a ray gun with 85% on native. Yeah, crap your gun, but you keep it as a showcase. I've got it's a regular Vulcan that has no special, and it's got 75 dark and 30 hit, and I've kept it just because it has stupid percents. I'm never going to use it. I also have a Birdiche with 75% dark that, again, still isn't really worth using. Why is Hella J Cutter cheaper than Slicer? I think it's probably because episode 2 challenge mode is a bit shorter, so people can spam it a bit faster. So it takes less investment to get to. The reality is that J Cutter is actually slightly better because it actually has a little bit better stats, I believe. But honestly, yeah, like Drax says there, realistically, the difference in the stats doesn't matter because you're only going to use it for special anyway. It is a Chen time. We've managed to get him back to PSO. You have one ray gun with 40 ultra base, 45 machine, and 50 dark. Kept it because it was pretty wild. Need a break from playing tons of Monster Hunter Frontier. Yeah, just keep your interest going until Wilds releases, aren't you? Speaking of which, we did get, if anyone didn't see, for anyone who might be interested in Monster Hunter, we did get a new trailer for Wilds yesterday at the opening night live. Yeah, Ep2 challenge stream 1. I have mentioned it that I would like to do Ep2 challenge at some point. It's just getting, you know, getting a few people who want to do it, who can sort of make time to do it. Same mode after event. I mean, I'm down. Yeah. Rathalos no longer has a chance. Hunters are forklift certified. You want your frozen shooter back? Yeah, so, I mean, depending on your ID, it's going to be a drop from Hilda Torrent Forest. So, once you can get to Ultimate Forest, you should be able to hunt it. I think offline, the best way to do it is probably Forest of Sorrow, I think. Yeah, Demon's Needle would probably be better than the Slicer overall. But Slicer Fanatic is still a really good weapon though. You need to remember what's the base font of the game. Yeah, there was a UI update a little while back with high-res fonts. It was the same for me as well. I tried using like the normal font for the game and it just didn't look right with the high-res fonts. Look at purple num finds it. Yeah, so I think purple num, green ill, white ill, maybe yellow boars, maybe. So the Gamekeeper font is actually, there is a font called Dotum. But for some reason, even when you use that, it looks different with the high-res texture font. So I've had to use a totally different font. Oh, Viridia also gets it, but it's on EP2 Hildertars. That is weird. Yeah, they must have changed that drop because the Viridia drop on GameCube for Tar, I believe, was Kamui. But PSO in Algerian. So we've got, looks like we've got 7 people, so again we can split 4 and 3 again, and I would just say again, just try and rotate around. Used to be your favourite font in primary school since it was all caps. It is Kamui in Classic, okay. You'll stick with Big Chungus. I do respect the unity there. So good. Down for whatever. This is your first multiplayer game, basically. Oh, cool. Yeah, we do seem to be getting a bit of a theme of chunky casts. Keep getting pulled to purple, Drac. I mean, if you want to do a purple run, I can always get my purple if you want me to. Ah, fair enough. So I mean, what haven't we hunted? Yeah, I mean, we've hunted basically all of the Ubers that everyone's after. No worries, missed. To be fair, I've used Limiter on my Funny World basically for the last couple of months when I've used it, so. I do need to unseal that at some point. And she has a Psycho Wand. I mean, of course she does. I mean, you do have 2 of them. You didn't know what to run rate. You wish you never found the SJS. I mean, I'm always down to do another SJS run. You know I'm always down to do another SJS run. I mean, I could load a Skyly either AA1 or AA2 if you want, just to vary things up a bit. AA2 is fun, let's do that. Yeah, we can do AA2, and then after that, if we want to, we could always switch over and do AA1 maybe. So I'll make a Skyly AA2 then. Again, anyone feel free to join. Again, just try and make sure that you try and rotate around a little bit. You'll join the other party for the text. Yeah, no worries, missed. I think it's probably a good idea just so we've got text in both parties. Just a reminder as well for anyone who might not know, the password's always stream. Prophets of Mortar, just picking one. Yeah, Mortar's a really awkward drop. It's kind of a weird item, Mortar, because it's just kind of outclassed by Psycho Wand. On Ephinea, there is actually a reason for running it. So there is a thing on Ephinea, I've mentioned it before, called the Forge, which lets you make what are called platings for your red ring. So what they allow you to do is, you've obviously seen that I've recolored my red ring to be a Skyly coloured one. But there is also a way of making your red ring look like another shield instead. So say, for example, you really like the look of the Del Saber shield, you can make your red ring look like a Del Saber shield. But the downside is that it's designed for absolute endgame players, and they require a ton of materials to make for these platings. And I know that one of them requires a Prophet of Mortar as one of the ingredients. Some of the requirements for them are just stupid. I mean, that Del Saber one, I'm pretty sure it needs about, I can't remember if it's 8 or 10 Del Saber shields and 8 or 10 Del Sabers busters as well. They're basically designed for if you're at endgame and you've got loads of crazy gear, it's to give you something to hunt for. Just found a Sacred Guard. Too bad it's not so good as it was in the old version. So Sacred Guard, the main benefit of Sacred Guard is that it makes you immune to poison. You got accustomed to using B for accepting from playing so much Frontiers. Big Chungus getting SJS. It would be really funny, wouldn't it, if went to his first multiplayer game and got an SJS. Decided that my Blue Burst characters will be Oran and Viridia. Yeah, Viridia is what I went with on my 200 on Sega Blue Burst. It's a really, really good ID. Yeah, so we're just waiting for everyone to get ready, and then we'll get started. It was for all status effects before. Okay. Yeah, I know on GameCube it was definitely only poison, but maybe on Dreamcast it was all statuses. That sucks if they change that though, because being immune to poison is really not that useful. I know they split it off though, so I know the Sacred Cloth is the one that makes you immune to paralysis, so... Alright, let's go. Dark Resist gear gone, we're good. I mean, there is some Megad in this quest, but it should be alright, honestly. We do just need to hope that everyone makes it down to the planet, because there is a bit of a weird bug with this quest where sometimes people just crash. So will we all make it? We have. Yeah, so Achentan and Chungus, you just need to interact with the console, and that'll start the quest. It's the only downside with these quests. I think the... Oh, no worries, dude. I think the problem is... The pop-up comes up and it says waiting for all players, so a lot of people will just leave that pop-up up because they're like, well, it's waiting for all players, but it doesn't tell you need to actually close that pop-up. was reaccustoming controls. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so Achentan, you'll probably notice what's interesting about this quest fairly soon. I don't know how much you've seen of this already. Yeah, so it's a very, very weird quest, this. All the bonus points for the Imperial, pick one of your favourite. It's a cool looking weapon. Yeah, for anyone who might not have seen this quest before, it's what's called the Omnispawn quest, so it spawns enemies from episode 1, 2, and 4. Yep. So the way it works such Entan is, because we're in an episode 2 area, any enemies that appear in episode 1 and episode 2 will drop the episode 2 drop. It is an extremely weak quest. There's another one as well that takes place in episode 1, and for that one, they drop their episode 1 drop. It's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, I don't find them the best quest for actually hunting things because there's so many different enemies in the quest. You don't get that many of each individual type of enemy, so it's kind of hard to use it to hunt for anything in specific. But it's good for just getting a general ballpark of items, you know. Bear in mind, a lot of the things here can drop pretty good stuff because there is so many different enemy types. But if you're looking for a very specific drop, it's probably not the quest to run. I always found that episode 2 Sinnoh's really, really annoying. I think the reason for it is because they've got this habit of hitting you once or taking a hit once and then warping somewhere else. So sometimes it just feels like it takes forever to kill them. Kind of feels like you need to freeze them. I didn't even notice those lilies spawn there. That could have gone a lot worse. Yeah, I do generally like the idea of the quest. I think it's pretty cool that there's enemies from all episodes, and it's something different. Yeah, certainly not a quest I would pick to hunt anything specific, though. Zil got an ancient saber. I feel like we get an ancient saber every time we do this. Never seen it drop. So it basically looks like Link's sword from Zelda. Is probably the best way to describe it. I think Vector said before that if you want to do a Link cosplay as a Phonium, it's the best option. That's if Phonium can use it. I can't remember if they can now. It's not a particularly great weapon, honestly. I think it's special something like Experience Steel. You can get it as an Excalibur skin, yeah. So, yeah, I suppose that's the way of doing it. So if you got a Heart of Ancient Saber, which honestly, in my opinion, reskinning Excalibur to literally anything else is probably an improvement. Because I genuinely feel like Excalibur looks terrible. Good to see you, man. Good luck today. Ah, cheers, Dev. Yeah, we're just running a bit of all sorts at the minute. We seem to be getting these crazy drops in terms of, like, you know, the people on my Discord community. We get all these crazy drops, but they always happen off stream. Well, most of the time, anyway. Alphonium can use Ancient Saber, okay. I mean, honestly, you would probably just try and get the Heart of Ancient Saber and use it on Excalibur. Because Excalibur's actually good. I mean, it's not a particularly weak saber, Ancient Saber necessarily. It's just that it's a saber with an experience special, so it's just ultimately not that useful. There is a luck material somewhere. I'm yet to see where. Melee as a Alphonium is just so rough though. It depends. I mean, if you get enough attack power to use Excalibur level 30 shifter isn't too bad. I mean, they can kind of melee. They're not brilliant at it, admittedly, but they can kind of do it. Unlike Fornuel. With Fornuel, your best option is to use a red saber with the Crimson Coat boost. For anyone who saw my 1000 sub stream, they probably saw how bad it was me trying to melee with a Fornuel. They have better A tier than Formar. I mean, I think pretty much anything has better A tier than Formar, I think. That is a Justy. I could be wrong on this because it's been a while since I did the class guides, but am I right in thinking that Formar has the lowest A tier of any class in the game? Guarantee you someone will die on this spawn. There we go. It's a really nasty spawn, this one, because the Imuralies in the front kind of block the Merikar rolls. 161 cap, oof. It is worth tagging the Rappies if we can, because they drop Vivian. But yeah, Formar accuracy is probably one of the main issues with them. You kind of have to use weapons with hit, more or less. They are very good at melee, if you can get good weapons with hit. But yeah, it's a bit rough. Can't even use S-rank mech guns. Yeah, because I think they need about level... Well, what, is it about 180 ATA, I think? To use S-ranks? Because Fornuel can use them. Fornuel actually has surprisingly decent ATA. I would like to get an S rank mech gun at some point, but I don't really feel like doing episode 1 challenge mode again. Not yet anywhere. So I might just end up trading for one. Kind of want some mech guns with demons. Funny with S rank demons mechs is great. It's probably the only way she can actually do damage. Wrong burst, no worries, dude. Everyone does it. I respect the demolition combat as well. I've always really liked that weapon. Yeah, it's actually a really decent weapon. You know, it's a fairly strong double saber, honestly, and it's actually got a useful special. I do have one, but unfortunately it doesn't have any hit. I do have a partisan of lightning with hit that I could use, but the downside is partisan lightning is just not that strong. Oh, I think Zale disconnected, I think. No, he had problems before, so I wonder if the game crashed out. Errored again. I'm trying to think, was it this quest last time that you errored in? It just seems to be that like this quest seems to be pretty buggy. I mean, again, it is a pretty experimental quest, so... Forgot about Bringer Rifle, that's probably best for Phony Well. I would like a Bringer's Rifle. I think I've only ever seen one drop. They're not even like particularly rare, it's just never seem to drop for some reason. I think it's because a lot of the IDs that I've got just don't get Bringer's Rifle from Bringers. That is yet another Justy. That is a bronze badge. But yeah, Bringer's Rifle is a really useful weapon, particularly in Blue Burst, because in Blue Burst you can use players deal 5 to actually add hit percentage to it as well, which you couldn't do in earlier versions. There is a bit of a side quest thing you've got to go through to do it, but... And it is also a gamble as well. You basically gamble photon crystals to try and add hit percentage, but the higher it gets, the lower the chances of success. Let's team point some of this rubbish. You can tell it's a SkyLi game by the fact that everything is just these and Dragon Slayers. Yeah, I do wonder, I mean, this event's been going on for what? About a week and a half now? I kind of wonder, you know, we've already found, just in our Discord community, we've already found Heart of Samba Maracas, a Gizonde level 30 disc, a red ring, a CLJ sword, and 2 Psycho ones. And that's after a week and a half. What quest is this? So it's a special quest that's only on during this event on Ephinea Blue Burst. It's called August Atrocity 2. So the idea of this quest is that it's what's called Omni Spawn. So it spawns enemies from episode 1, 2, and 4. But it's only available during this event, so for about the next 3 weeks or so. And after that, it'll go away again for another year. Yeah, there is another one as well, which takes place in mines. It's the same kind of deal where all the enemies are kind of episode 1, 2, and 4. They're not random enemies as such, so it is the same enemies you'll get every time. But it's just like a mixture of different episodes. Just about got those rappies. I need to make sure I get those because they drop Vivian. Oh, Chunga's got a Justy. I feel like that spawn is slightly unfair because where the rappies are, that's pretty much where you're going to be standing. And they completely block you in. Sorry, Hatrun, for a minute. Did you miss anything? Absolutely nothing. Unless you count a lot of Dragon Slayers and Justies. Yeah, 3 Dragon Slayers, yeah, that's about it. So, normal Skyly game, really. Again, pretty unfair spawn there. It basically blocks the Mirror Carol in. It likes doing that in this quest, so it'll put a Mirror Carol behind a few enemies. If there's a Heart of a Dragon Slayer, use that. I don't know if there is, actually. I wish there was, because honestly, Dragon Slayer's a really cool looking weapon. I do really like it. It's just not that strong. But it does look really cool. Honestly, I've always kind of liked the look of Last Survivor as well. But again, just not worth using. Well, for early game, it's fine. But yeah, once you get to Ultimate, not so much. Use the blaster, dodge the Dolph on hit. I respect it. This spawn is actually super annoying because these enemies here are basically designed to just continually interrupt you. So the Chololds attack pretty fast and the Barbooters throw fire quite often, which interrupts you. So you just get stuck in this loop of not being able to really do anything if you're in the wrong position. Oh, do I risk running in here? Well, it doesn't matter now. No Heart of Dragon Slayer, unfortunately. I mean, they do add new ones every so often. I mean, they added a few more for this event, so it might get in the future. Just try and drag this guy a little bit further away from the wall. There we go. Well, if that's good enough. You like how Enchanted ran in twice and died? And that is kind of the normal Epsilon experience. Yeah, I have Crazy Tune, Daisy Chain, and Laconia Max. See, I really don't like how Laconia Max looks. I think it looks terrible. I mean, Crazy Tune though. Downside though with the hearts that they've added is there's only a couple of weapons you can use them on, and it tends to be like the really end game stuff, which I get why, because it's gonna be the sword you're gonna be using. But for example, like if I got a Tsumakiri J sword, I wouldn't want to change it to look like a Crazy Tune. As much as I like Crazy Tune, I wouldn't want my Sealed J to look like that. You'd use Heart of Angel Harp on Bringer's Rifle, that's awesome. Yeah, Angel Harp's a pretty cool looking weapon as well, actually. Which is better, Sky? Hair dryers or maracas? Yeah, I mean, for you it fits because you obviously you love guitars, so it totally makes sense. Right, see if I get the Morphos strap. God, it's so cheesy. It got me there because it had already shot. Charge only takes Mazetta if it hits right. For the most part, so charge does. So charge will only take Mazetta if you hit with it. If you use the VI though, which is a special kind of charge, that will take the Mazetta regardless if you hit or miss. This does not seem to be a good place to be. So I'm just going to spam Rabata and hope for the best. Is there a baguette skin for Excal? You sense a distinct lack of 88 on this party. Yeah, what possibly could go wrong with two Hugh and a Hunuel? I wish I was a Hugh Castillo at this point, honestly. I like the Dolphin just camping the blue loop. Yeah, I think Zill got an error. There's also a Sinnoh barrel on top of the Gerta Blulu. There we go. Well, we got through it. We will have the technology eventually. Yeah, honestly, we just need a skin for Excal that makes it look salvageable, because it's the one thing I really don't like about the... Well, sorry, there's two things I don't like about the weapon. One is the way it looks. I think it looks awful. And two is I don't like the sound it makes. It sounds... I've always said that it sounds like a dog barking. Why it sounds like that is beyond me. But I can't... As soon as I got an Excel, I can't unhear it. Didn't die? No, you didn't actually. Well done on that, actually, for that level. Now you'll never unhear it either. What have you done? I'm so sorry. To be honest, it might be a dog barking sound modified. Wouldn't surprise me. Still like Last Survivor. It looks and sounds like a poor man's Zanba. If it had the lame model but gold, you'd be fine with it. Yeah, lame doesn't look too bad. I mean, I still think the sort of like hand guard part of it looks weirdly bulky on it, but I do think that lame looks better than Excal. It's all the extra stuff around the handle, it just looks weird. But it is an extremely good weapon. So I'm assuming, I'm guessing that Heart of Flamberge can be used on Excalibur. I'm guessing that's probably why you want it. Or would it be for Galatine? Never seen what Flamberge looks like. Yeah, I was going to show you, but I might be able to actually. I think I've got a spare one. I'm sure I've got a Flamberge. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got a random 40 hit one. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like in a second. It's actually a really cool looking weapon. I just wish it was better. Should we hunt for Heart of Flamberge next? I mean, you can get that in Skylight A1. So what I'll do is I'll go back down to the planet and just show you what it looks like quickly. Yeah, I suppose you want to use it on one that's got hit, don't you? So Flamberge looks like that. So this is basically, it's actually a really strong saber. It has really, really high attack power, and it has a spirit special. Unfortunately, Galatine is also a really, really strong saber that is stronger than this and has a spirit special. So there's kind of no place for Flamberge, unfortunately. Yeah, so you basically, for Heart of Flamberge, you basically want your saber to look like this, but with a different. So you want to use photon filters to then change the color of the blade. What's the sword that you use that's slightly transparent? This one. So it's a Flowen sword, but there's different variants of Flowen sword. So this one in particular is the 3084 model, which is the best one. So this one is, you can grant to 85, so it's actually relatively strong for a sword. There is a lot stronger, but the main reason people use this is because it's the only Flowen sword that has a special attack. So it has spirit, which basically uses your TP to do more damage. And because it's a sword, you can hit up to 10 targets with it. So for Hunuel in particular, it's a really, really strong sword. This one is particularly busted. Again, I'll shout out Vector, because Vector gave me it a while back. This has 55 hit. Thank you again, Vector. But yeah, Flamberge is a really cool looking weapon. I just wish it was better. The sad thing is, it is actually a good weapon technically. It's just that Galatine is better. And Excal is better. The good news is though, if you want a Flamberge, it's not hard to get either. I think it's a 1 out of 2 drop from the green Marissa's for a lot of IDs. Yeah, I've got a 40 hit Flamberge. Yeah, I wasn't hunting it, it just dropped. No banner for it though. Tension Blaster is pretty cool too. You love Space Channel 5. So I think maybe we've got time to do maybe one more run. Wonder if you get a Heaven Striker with hit. I mean, who knows with this event? Xbox version of PSO really missed out on not having a Halo crossover weapon. You didn't really miss anything, Zale. There was kind of nothing dropped. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a problem with that quest. A few people seem to have issues with it, with disconnecting. Usually it's when you first warp to the jungle, but I have seen a few people drop out as well. If you want just these and Dragon Slayers, I have enough for everyone. Again, just a reminder as well, yeah, just like LJP said there, we do have a Discord, so anyone who wants to join. We do talk about PSO a lot and other Fantasy Stars, and we also play some other stuff like Monster Hunter now and again as well. Do we actually have 8 people? Can we actually do 2 full parties? Do you like this lobby layout of the other lobby layout? I've always liked this just because I like the episode 3 lobbies. Obviously the GameCube lobby style is more nostalgic to me just because I grew up playing it, but I like this lobby because I like the general layout of the F3 lobbies anyway. I think it's pretty cool, just the fact that you can see the planet. And it's got some leftover things like the card tables. Not that you can use them on this, but they're there. But the other reason is because this lobby is basically Skyly coloured as well. But I honestly, I like both. Want to finish on a POD? Yeah, that's fine, yeah. I'm cool with doing Point Disaster if you want. I really don't mind which IDs we do. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. So we can just switch it so there's a force on each party. That's fine. It sounds better, this lobby, with the actual F3 lobby music as well. Oh, the team you're on doesn't have POD? Yeah, so if that's the case... Yeah, if your team doesn't have POD... Unless... Do we have spare team points? Like, could I donate team points to give you that access? How many do we have? I mean, we have like 3,000 points. I mean, I could just donate you like 1,500 points to go and unlock it. There is a thing on Ephinea where you can actually trade team points to other teams, so I can do that if you want. We've still got some stuff left to unlock, but there's not. Honestly, we're getting points so fast anyway during this event, it just doesn't matter. Never used teams before. It was only added in Blueburst, so it's a new thing in Blueburst. It's pretty cool. I mean, it gives you access to the dressing room. That's tied to the teams now. Can he even buy it though? I mean, his name's in orange. His name's in orange, so that would suggest that he's the leader of that team. So if you look on my team thing, my name's in orange as well. So that should work. You'll need 600. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I can only donate 500 or 1,000. So what I can do is I can just donate you 1,000. So I think now, if I remember correctly, I think it gives me an item that gives me team points. Do go back to lobby. We should be able to join in a minute, Drac. So what I'll do is I'll join another game and get this over to a Chentan. I'm not sure if I have to like reload lobby or something to get that item in my inventory, but can't see that unless it puts it in my bank or something. So yeah, we can just we can split into 2 teams and just do a point in disaster to end things. So just join whichever one you want, a Chentan, and I'll check my bank when we join. So they've got 3 out of 4, so there's one more slot in Drac's party, if anyone. And then if you want to make the other game a Chentan, I'll try and trade that to you. Or anyone can make it. You don't want to do Skylife Point Disaster because the drops aren't very good. So just it's episode 4. Right, so I'll go and see where this item is. Oh, no worries, dude. I'm going to assume it must just put it in my bank, I'm guessing. Let's see if I can find it. Unless it just comes up in my inventory when I try trading. Holy Luck material was at 99. I have 99 HP materials. I have 28 luck so far. We'll just check my character bank as well, just to make sure. Oh, there we go. Team points 1,000. So I think you basically just use it like you're using team points, as far as I know. It should give you 1,000 points. And then what you might need to do then is you might possibly need to leave the game and enable point of disaster, maybe. Yeah, because you'll need to do that from the menu in the lobby. So we probably need to remake the game. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you want to go back to the lobby and... So I think if we just lobby back now, a Gen 10 can unlock that and then we should be able to run point disaster then. Honestly, we've got so many spare points going in the team now anyway. So hopefully that works. You forgot slash lobby was a thing. Slash lobby is one of the best quality of life improvements. Yeah, I don't mind doing that for your team because I know you've been here since more or less the start of the streams anyway and watching the videos for a while, so you've been running back to the lobby teleport every time. To be fair, I did that for ages. No worries, that's fine. As I say, we're getting so many rare drops at the minute anyway that you make points really fast anyway. How would you bind the shortcut key to a message? I can show you that in a sec once we start this quest. So if you go into your main menu and go to chat and go to shortcut, you can literally just type them in here. So for example, I've got BGM 0 set to shift and F1. So if I do shift and F1, it'll mute the BGM. And you can do the same for things like slash lobby, slash bank and so on. So that's the easy way of doing it. It only popped up with word select when you were trying last night. Yeah, so word select is... So if you open that menu there by pressing Y, so you don't access your shortcuts through that normally. So your shortcuts, I mean, you can technically... I'm trying if there's a way of doing it now. There used to be a way on GameCube of like switching to your on-screen keyboard. I can't even remember if the on-screen keyboard is still in this or not offhand. So that's one way you used to do it on GameCube. Honestly, the easiest way is if you're playing on PC, just bind them through that chat menu and shortcut, and then just use your keyboard to trigger them. Try it again in a bit. I also feel like every time we do anything that has Astarks, always end up getting a Yasakani Magatama. It might not be an Astark that dropped it this time because I know we're on White Hill. But I know for Skyly you get them from Astarks. It's like one of the most useless units in the game, unfortunately. It's just one of those units that is like so oddly specific. There's a few like that in Blue Burst. You know, so Yasakani gives you like, I think it's a 30 ATA boost, which is nice, but only when you're using Kusanagi. Astarks are so skinny in this game. I mean, this is where they're from originally. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason the ones in PSP2 are like swole. To be honest though, it's kind of a thing with like the PSU series of games. So the boomers that appear in PSP2 and PSU, they look really jacked as well. It's like all the PSO enemies went on a training montage. At some point you need to play PSU and PS0. I have very little experience of PS0. I have a video on my channel. It's about an hour long of me playing it for the first time. I have mixed impressions of it. I enjoyed some parts of it and not others. But I do need to play a bit more of it at some point. PSU, I mean, for PSU, your best option at the minute is probably to play on the Clementine server, which is a private server for PSU. Just fair warning, it's not particularly familiar to the Sega servers. There is a lot of changes on Clementine, but it is also pretty much the only option you've got for PSU at the minute. Probably like it more if you played it a bit more and got used to the controls. I think that was the main sticking point for me, yeah. It was just like getting used to some of the controls. I have no doubt I'll probably enjoy it. I will definitely play more of it at some point. It's just I'm just not sure when yet. Went to a con last year and saw PS0 being sold, but it was $60. That is a bronze badge. Yeah, it seems a bit weird. PS0, occasionally you can get decent offers on it, but or you might see like a relatively decent price one, but price seems all over the place for it. They've got a Blackhound Cuirass. It's an interesting armor for Castat. It's basically an armor that has an absolute ton of defense. I think that's about 300 defense, but it actually lowers your evade. I love the look of the Psycho wand, I've got to say. It's such a cool looking weapon. Maybe at some point I should just hunt some purple and mill lilies as well. I mean, I have been doing it before the event, but since the event started, I haven't really done much. I've been too focused on SJS. And getting pretty much nothing in return. Oh, a Chentan got one as well. When you got in the PSU lobby, you found that no one was there. Where's the people? And you find out that there's an event on there too. Yeah, there is an event on Clementine as well at the minute. Get 2 rares back to back. Speaking of Purple Gnome, a lot of Purple Gnome cards have been dropping. The main reason for that is because a lot of Purple Gnome players are hunting for Psycho Wands, and Purple Gnome card drops from Nano Dragons, which are also in caves. Yeah, somebody's got an Angel Harp from a Gibbles, which is actually a crazy drop for it. Like, normally when you see the Angel Harp drop, it's usually from Skylight Pal Rapids. Hello, Mr. Tortoise. You're not really familiar with what cards do. A lot of cards are not really worth using. They're kind of an awkward weapon to use because the first couple of hits hit one target and the last hit will hit a few. But there is a few cards that are actually decent. So there is a card called Guardiana. Guardiana has a spirit special. So if you use it on a force, you've got tons of TP anyway. So you can actually get some decent damage out of it. Also, some of the S-rank cards are worth using as well. So if you use something like Demons cards or Hell cards, they could be really cool. Oh, we've got a Del Rappy. I still love the look of Del Rappy. Just this absolutely cursed Rappy. Unfortunately, most of its drops are terrible. In Ultimate, anyway. It has some good, very hard drops. Don't you ever seen that? Yeah, this is the rare Rappy in episode 4. It dropped a Heavenly Look, which could be worse. I think pretty much everyone got it. Didn't someone make a physical version of the episode 3 card game? Kind of wish there was a deck to collect. So there is a PSO 2 card game, physical one. For the episode 3 one, I know that if you buy the soundtrack for episode 3, you get a few promo cards with it. I know that because I've got it. I think you get about 5 or 6 cards with it. I honestly, I can't remember if they ever made a full set. It would have been cool if they did, because honestly, episode 3 was cool as hell. I love that game. I know it's a very sort of divisive PSO game, but I really like it. You know, there's a tabletop RPG in the works for the OG Fantasy Star series. Oh, I saw that, yeah. Still got a Disco Bravement. Yeah, I've got them, yeah. After this run, if I remember, I'll try and show you. Still need to play like the OST. The OST is really good. Yeah, I have the OSTs for PSO Dreamcast. I've got the OST for episode 1 and 2, and I've got episode 3 one as well. I don't have the Blueburst one, unfortunately. I've got it on Spotify, but not the actual physical version. Yeah, I mean, the cards that come with the soundtrack, they're okay. I mean, the I decide cheap cardboard, they're not anything particularly great, but it's a cool little collectible. F3 is unironically my favourite game. Shit, but you love it so much. F3 can honestly be quite a tough game, because a lot of it depends on what card drops you get. I really need to sort my inventory on this character at some point. I feel like I'm taking too many weapons with me. All those years of GameCube PSO where I could only take one weapon for fear of losing everything else. I'm making up for it now. My epic penultimate boss roll of 1-1 for the first 5 turns. So glad you don't lose Mazetta when you die on Ephinea. Yeah, there's no real downside to dying on Ephinea, honestly. Apart from just having to go back to Pioneer. Well, I assume you don't have a escape doll anywhere. Kind of feels like they just got progressively less punishing as we went through the PSO version. So obviously with Dreamcast, you literally dropped your weapon. Then GameCube, you lost all of the money that you had on your character. Do you die if you get sucked into the middle of that sand pit? No, so basically what it does is it makes you fall into, like, there's a hole underneath the sand pit take some fall damage, and then you just have to go for a warp and warp back again. It's just more annoying than anything else. Hey man, thanks for all your PSO guides. Oh, no worries, MK. Alright, let's see who we get. Judging by the fact that that's a sad face, it's Chamberton. Okay. But no, you just take a little bit of fall damage. It's just another thing to make Desert slightly more irritating. So unfortunately, it's this guy who drops nothing of interest. Well, I mean, he drops Dragon Scale, which is it is the mag cell for one of the best mags in the game. But I think pretty much all of us have got it. It's kind of annoying Chamberton because he's the strongest of the 3 versions of this boss. But also the one that gives the least rewards in terms of rare drops. I think I've said this a few times, but there are elements of this boss fight that I really just do not like. It's not a particularly hard fight or anything. There's just, particularly in the second phase, there's a lot of things that you just can't really dodge. Or it's just total RNG if you manage to dodge them. I mean, his laser beam that he does when he's in the little caves at the back, there's not really a whole lot you can do. You just kind of eat it. The laser, exactly, yeah. It's just a question of knowing how much damage it does and keeping your health above that. I didn't want it to spawn because it seems it's always cursed when you spawn this boss. Yeah, we had that really cursed room before, didn't we, a while back, where the bosses didn't spawn for anyone else. Or rather, no one else could see the boss. No one else could hurt the boss, apart from you. Yeah, that was a pretty awful run. I don't like using Berserk there either as well, because it's really easy for him to just like spawn a spinner behind you. Yeah, Tortoise, once we've done this, I'll try and show you those episode 3 cards quick. That's an interesting glitch. So the Photon Blast goes, but his laser cutscene still happens. But yeah, no worries about the PSO guides. I really enjoy doing them. Isn't everyone immune during Photon Blast? They're meant to be. This boss is very, very buggy in regards to Photon Blasts. Quite often if you use a Photon Blast on this boss, you'll die because the boss will just keep attacking. I think it's because it has a lot of like lingering attacks, so things like the missiles that it fires, all that kind of stuff, that will still move during the Photon Blast for some reason. It's not really meant to. buggy or just so powerful he shrugs off the photon blast. I mean, you could say that. Although realistically, I mean, this guy's way easier than Olga Floor. In my opinion, anyway. I've always thought Olga Floor is by far the hardest of the three. Using the player reader during Photon Blast, everyone gets 1 minute of iframes. Yeah, still not a particularly hard fight. First phase can be a bit irritating sometimes, but yeah, he's really not that bad. He's just a little Lizzo doggo, he is. He's dropping 10,500 Mazetta at the minute because of the increased Mazetta rates. And there is nothing of interest whatsoever on the floor. Nice one. So yeah, I said at the beginning of the stream that we'd probably get nothing on stream after those banner drops off stream, and yeah, exactly what happened. There is a banner there, but it's not for us. Or is it? Heart of Suppressed Gun. I mean, kind of cool. I mean, Suppressed Gun looks interesting. I mean, Suppressed Gun is basically a normal photon handgun with a suppressor. There's not much more to it than that. But it looks cool, though. So what I'll do quickly is I'll just quickly show you those episode 3 cards. Yeah, so I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, but so I've got the, you have to ignore the ring light from the camera, but so I've got the episode 3 soundtrack there. So you get them in a little card pack, which is meant to be like episode 3. And the actual cards themselves. So the ones I've got half defense, which is, again, it might be quite hard to see because of the actual glare on the camera, but yeah, it's really hard to sort of catch it because they're shiny cards as well. I've got this one's weakness. I don't have my my full screen camera set up yet, so I can always show these another time if that's better. I have lock on 1. It is all the same card art from the game as well. I should have made this into a real TCG. I agree. I have Rafoi. Again, not great webcam, and glare makes it not particularly easy to see. And the last one's probably my favourite. It's half attack, and it's my favourite because it has Rufina on it, who's my favourite character from Ep 3. So yeah, you get it's about 5 cards. They are also double-sided as well, so they do look like that on the back. So it's just like a nice little bonus you get with it, but if you think they're getting it, just watch the prices, because the prices for that can be really expensive sometimes for the Ep3. But yeah, so I think with that we'll probably end the stream there for today. So plans for the channel, there's a video just gone live today, which is the PSP2 video. There should also be a PSO law video going live at the end of the week on Sunday. And there'll be another stream on Sunday as well, which will be on YouTube and Twitch again. So again, that will probably just be PSO just while this event's on. And then once the event's ended, we'll probably transition it so that the Sunday stream is Phantasy Star related. And the midweek stream will be a bit more varied. If you find one, let me know. I must have those cards. There's usually a few on eBay. I mean, for me, I'll be transparent. I got all 3 of them from the same seller. It cost me £100, but that was for all 3 albums. And bear in mind, the Ep3 I've seen for about 60 quid normally, so I thought 100 for all 3 isn't awful. So yeah, so like I said, next stream will be on Sunday. And then following that, there'll be some more videos on the channel. As for next week, we will probably do another Twitch stream midweek, I would have thought, but I'll let you guys know if there's going to be any issues. As usual, if you enjoyed the video or enjoyed the stream, please consider liking, subscribing, join as a member on YouTube, or follow on Twitch. We are very near Twitch affiliate now. I think we've got all the requirements for it. It's just a couple more streams I need to do, and then I should be ready for Twitch affiliate. But yeah, so feel free to follow me over there. I'm also on Twitter at SectionSkyly as well. And yeah, all the usual YouTube stuff. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll hopefully see some of you on Sunday for the next stream. Yeah, have a good night.